Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Beautiful people, welcome into the facility once again. To my right, I got TJ Husmanzada in for LaShawn, Shady, McCoy. TJ, before I get to James Jones, what's the good word, my brother?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good this morning. Real good, actually.
What time you have to get up to get here for this 7 a.m. Pacific time show?
I get up 3:45 just to make sure that I'm on time. Leave the house about 4:30.
This is dedication, beautiful people. Hey, so much to get to on this morning, so little time to get to it. We got to talk Caitlin Clark. We got to talk Jalen Ramsey. We got to talk the Steelers. Got to talk the Dolphins. James Jones, you got a workout in yesterday with the little kids?
Works out every day. Yeah, man, you know what? So my nephew's here because you know we got the internship here.
Yep.
And I thought, because my boys went back to Arizona.
Yep.
I'm like, man, finally I get to rest. So I get up from my little nap and he looking at me like, you ready to go work out? Let's go get active, brother. Let's go get active.
Y'all can be watching any show. You are hanging out with us. We do not take it for granted. Hey, glad y'all woke up this morning. Glad y'all are here. Hopefully you laughed a little bit, you learned a little bit, and everything in between. It has been a chaotic 24 hours, to say the least, for the Steelers, for the Dolphins, for Jalen Ramsey, for so many different individuals in the star-studded NFL. Y'all remember, Jalen Ramsey traded yesterday. We have now had about 24 hours to decompress from the news. Jonnu Smith traded as well from the Miami Dolphins, teaming up with Pittsburgh Steelers future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers. It sounds like we don't have any music, but hopefully you can still hear my voice. Yesterday, the news literally broke in the midst of the show. We delivered an instant reaction, and then our instant reaction was rendered absolutely useless once we found out the rest of the trade details. Ramsey, though, now we know. Jonnu Smith going from the Dolphins, going to the Steelers. James, now that you've had about 23 hours to think about it, can you say with your chest, did the Steelers get better yesterday?
I can't say with my chest that the Steelers got better. I think they addressed some needs that they truly, truly needed. And I'm starting with the tight end offensively. You get another tight end in Jonnu Smith to go with Freiermuth. And I forgot Darnell Washington is still there, the big boy out of Georgia. I'm sure they're probably still going to use him. But they got better personnel-wise of what they are trying to do offensively. All right, we are going to get in 2 tight end sets. We are going to be able to run the ball, and we are going to be able to play action pass off of that. But you got Jonnu Smith to go with Freiermuth and DK Metcalf. The offense got better. And then defensively, you get a true lockdown corner in Jalen Ramsey. And we do not know yet how they are going to use him exactly. But if they put him at corner, you have 3 lockdown corners. You signed Darius Slay. You obviously got Porter Jr. over there. And then now you bring over Jalen Ramsey. You got 3 dudes that you can get in man-to-man coverage and cover. And you have a bad man in Jalen Ramsey that can travel. If it's too much for the young dude trying to deal with a Jamar Chase or a T. Higgins, he can travel. So I think they got better defensively and they got better offensively. Obviously, it comes down to how well Aaron Rodgers is going to play. But when you talk about these 2 dudes they added, I think they absolutely got better.
They got better, but I don't know how much better they got. They lost a very, very good player in Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they got a great player in Jalen Ramsey. Jonnu Smith, he's a good player, but I think we're putting too much on Jonnu. We acting like Jonnu Smith
just a piece.
Is George Kittle or Travis Kelce. He not like his best season was his last season in Tennessee. Prior to last season, he had 41 catches, 8 touchdowns. New England signs him to a big contract. He had 1 touchdown in 2 seasons with the New England Patriots. 1 touchdown in 2 seasons. And so when that happens, then he goes to Atlanta with Arthur Smith. 50 catches, pretty good. Last year was like, whoa, 88 catches, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns again.
So are you saying Jonnu Smith doesn't actually move the needle that much in your mind?
Yes. And so you brought up Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
So now if they're going to play Jonnu Smith a little more, what you believe they are, they're going to lose a little bit in the run game because that's Darnell. That's what he does. He's going to move guys off the line of scrimmage. So now are you sacrificing the run game by not playing Darnell Washington and trying to situate the passing game with Jonnu? Is that what they're going to do? Because that's Arthur Smith want to run the ball. Mike Tomlin want to run the ball. Defensively, they are better. How much better? I don't know. Having Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., and Jalen Ramsey, that does help them, but they still not better than the top teams in the AFC. Not for me. They're slightly better, but it isn't like, oh, man, the Steelers just did this. They Super Bowl contenders.
Here's why I think, though, T, let me see if I can convince you, and let me see if I can convince y'all at home. Here's why I think the Rams got not the Rams. Here's why I think Jalen Ramsey helps the Steelers get substantially better. Because as I was looking at it last night, Jay, acquiring Jalen Ramsey isn't just acquiring one player on defense. Acquiring Jalen Ramsey is almost like acquiring 3 or 4 players on defense because of his positional flexibility. I got to run to the big board real quick. T, let me see if I can convince you just very quickly. And I want y'all to remember, if you remember nothing else during the first 15 minutes of the show, remember this. Jalen Ramsey's positional flexibility, his positional versatility, it equals defensive flexibility. Remember, his positional versatility, it equals defensive flexibility. Bring it on camera. I want to show the tape. James, you'll find this fascinating. James Jones, you have already seen it. The very first thing is, where is Jalen Ramsey right now? Jalen Ramsey plays what position? Well, we know he plays outside cornerback. He plays outside cornerback, but that's not where Jalen Ramsey is. Right now, Jalen Ramsey is at the nickelback position. He's at the nickelback position. When he's at nickel, James Jones, he alluded to this yesterday, he can do a lot of different things, such as blitz. On this play, I just want you to watch number one, where is Ramsey lined up at, and what is Jalen Ramsey going to do? He's not in his typical position. He's playing nickelback right there. I think the Steelers can use him at nickel. Right there's just a simple pass breakup. That's simple. Okay, last time around, Jalen Ramsey did what? He was at the nickelback position. But this time around, where's Jalen Ramsey? No, he's not there. Wait, no, he's not there. Now he's actually at his traditional outside cornerback position. Jalen Ramsey, his positional flexibility, it allows a lot of defensive versatility. The first time at nickelback, he got a pass breakup. This time at outside cornerback, watch what Jalen Ramsey's about to do. Now I'm just going to get an interception and make sure I steal the game. Y'all see where the hands are pointing. Y'all see where the hands are pointing. Y'all see the celebrations. Y'all see the celebrations. Jalen Ramsey, his positional versatility, it gives the Steelers defensive flexibility. Something, T, I found the most interesting. I'm not going to show a play here. I just want y'all to digest the information I'm about to give. On this play, where is Jalen Ramsey? He's not at outside cornerback. This is back when he played for the Rams. He's not at outside cornerback. Where in the world is Jalen Ramsey? Once again, he's tucked in, hidden here. Now, here's the most fascinating thing of all of this. And really the most fascinating thing to me that I realized yesterday when I was watching all the tape. If you look at the Rams on defense right now, hey, this is a linebacker. This is a linebacker. This is a linebacker. But where in the world is the other linebacker? If you run a 3-4, there should be 2 inside linebackers. Where? I'm confused. Where's the other linebacker? He's not on the field. What the Rams did here, they went with 3 defensive linemen. They went with 3 linebackers, and they went with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs. Jalen Ramsey, he allows flexibility. Getting back to the desk, and let me talk to y'all as I walk back to the desk. The interesting thing I found when I looked at this, and James T, hopefully y'all viewers at home also find it fascinating. If you can play with just one linebacker on the field, inside linebacker on the field, that allows the Steelers to put the most talented players on the field at all times. Weakness last year, it was the linebacker opposite Patrick Queen. So if Peyton Wilson doesn't come along, we'll take him off the field. I'm going to play with Patrick Queen. I'm going to play with Highsmith at outside. I'm going to play with TJ Watt at outside. I'm using my first-round pick, Derek Harmon out of Oregon. He's going to play my nose tackle. Cam Hayward, he's going to play my nose tackle. Then I'm going to have Thornhill back there. I'm going to have Slay outside. I'm going to have JPJ outside. And I'm going to have my other safety, Deshaun Elliott, out there. Oh, I like Wilson. He's playing great. Oh, TJ Watt, he's hurt. We'll take Watt off the field. Now I'm going to play 2 inside backers. Then I'm going to put my nickel back outside. Then I'm going to put Highsmith outside. Oh, Highsmith has a high ankle sprain. He's off the field. I'm going to play TJ Watt outside. So what I suggest is when you acquire Jalen Ramsey, the reason I love it so much, T, the reason I love it so much, Jay, is you're not just getting one player. Yeah. You're getting one player that allows you to play a 3-4, that allows you to play a 4-2-5, that allows you to play a 3-3-5. You never see 3-3-5s in the NFL. You're getting one player that allows you to keep the best players on the field at all times because he can play so many positions. That's what sold me, and obviously you saw it firsthand covering the Raiders last year. Yeah. That's what sold me.
And another thing watching that tape, which was really good, right, that you didn't mention, is the first play because Jalen Ramsey in that Raiders game was following the wide receiver. He was following my man. He was in the slot the very first play. TJ, we all know as wide receivers, if we break the huddle and the corner following you and he go in the slot, what coverage we getting?
We get man.
We get man-to-man. What happened, Archo? What was the play? He blitzed, right? And they ran zone. On the second play, he follows Jacoby Myers again. Now he's on the outside because he was following Jacoby Myers, right? Jacoby motioned. They checked in the zone as he was outside corner. Like, Jalen Ramsey gives you the opportunity to disguise so much. Because if he's going to follow Jamar Chase probably thinking, dang, it's man-to-man. No, it ain't. It's zone. Joe Burrow probably thinking this, man, no, it ain't. It's zone. And now he's blitzing. He's a heck of a tackler, and he's so versatile. They got better defensively. And you just saying them names right now defensively?
Correct.
Oh, my God.
Correct.
If they can stay healthy, whew.
Hey, James, I would interrupt you for only one reason. We have breaking news. Again, it's a show of breaking news. I'm sorry, James. Hey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signed a massive 4-year, $285 million extension literally as we were speaking, and I'm up there talking about Jalen Ramsey. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is getting generational wealth for years and years and decades and centuries to come. 4 years, $285 million. It's the highest annual salary for a player in league history. $71 million per year. What's that break down to? Like $250,000 freaking every day. $71 million a year. Here's what we know. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he did something over the course of this NBA season that I think we've only seen 4 other times in NBA history. He was a scoring champion. He won regular season MVP. He won finals MVP. We've seen Shaquille O'Neal. We've seen Michael Jordan. We've seen Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And there's one other person, Matt, who's slipping my mind. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, quite literally this year, did what not even the great Kevin Durant could do, not Russell Westbrook could do, what James Harden couldn't do, and that's bring Oklahoma City its very first championship, and now rewarded $71 million. James, one, what's your instant reaction to that? And then, T, I'm going to ask, how much pressure does that now put on SGA to make sure this wasn't just a flash in a pan? But, James, what's your instant reaction?
Money well spent. Money well spent. If you watch Shai all year long, Shai was a bad man all year long. If you watched him in the finals and you needed to close out a game and you needed a bucket, he was the one that delivered. Shai is a bad man. This is money well spent. And you get him locked down, you're going to get some other young players on your team locked down. They are going to be here for a very long time competing for championships now that they got Shai locked down.
It's well-deserved, man. He's earned this. Like, you with the Los Angeles Clippers and you get traded because they don't really believe you can be this type of player. He got in the gym, he put that work in, and now he's reaping the benefits of his hard work. And so Oklahoma City, they smart. Like, $71 million, man, this should motivate every player, get in the gym, get better, work on your game.
Here's what I know, though, and this is probably the most important question. You pay somebody in basketball and football not just for what they're going to do and also what they're done, but a combination of both. But what we know about the NBA right now, more fascinating maybe than anything you'll hear today or be reminded of today, is we've seen 7 consecutive different champions. You go back to 2018 when you saw the Warriors win, then 2019, you see the Clippers win, that's when it starts and it resets. And then you see the Lakers win in that bubble year. You see the Raptors win rather in the bubble year. Then you see the Lakers win. And then the Bucks, they sneak one in there. And then the Nuggets, they get one. And then the Celtics get one. And then the Thunder get one. And then the Warriors sneak one in there in 2022. 7 different champions. It's hard to repeat right now. But you pay Shai Gilgeous-Alexander $285 million and $71 million a year to get another championship.
No doubt.
You didn't give him $285 for what he just did.
No doubt.
You didn't give him $285 for the 3 All-NBA first teams 3 years in a row and the MVP he just got. You give him $285 because you want him to get another one. James, when you look at the West, again, I showed y'all yesterday, the West, the difference between the 2 seed and the 8 seed was 4 games.
Yes.
It's highly competitive. Kevin Durant has joined the West. Luka Doncic, LeBron James are in the West. Ant-Man Edwards in the West. Ja Morant, for what it's worth, is in the West. Can SGA repeat? Can they win another championship next year and do what no team has done in 7 consecutive years now?
I mean, they have a chance, but it's going to be extremely hard. Number one, it's going to be extremely hard because they are going to get everybody's best shot. They are going to get everybody's best shot. When OKC is on the schedule, like Brown used to get treated, everybody bringing their best game.
Yeah.
Right? The rest game is the game before we see SGA, right? Because we want to make sure everybody is ready to go see the OKC Thunder. So I want to see how they're going to respond. They kind of snuck under the radar for the last couple of years. We still didn't believe in them this year until they got to the finals and playing the Indiana Pacers. But I want to see how they're going to react. It is going to be extremely hard. I'm not super confident that they are going to go back knowing what the Rockets are doing, knowing what the Nuggets are doing. I'm not truly confident, and I want to see how they're going to handle it because it is going to be a different year. They are going to play you a whole lot tougher. You are not finna just skate by in some of these games. I want to see how they're going to respond.
T, can they repeat? It's hard to do. Tall task. You got to go through LeBron. You got to go through Luka. Got to go through Ant-Man. Got to go through Steph. Got to go through Jimmy Butler. Got to go through Kevin Durant. Can they repeat? That's what the money's for.
Can they repeat that? not going to straddle the fence. No, they won't repeat. They're not going to do that. It's the West, like, maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment, but I'm a Laker fan. Like, when I say Laker, it's we. I'm a part of them. But the Houston Rockets, I can't see nobody. If the Houston Rockets stay healthy, who gonna beat them? Who gonna beat the Houston Rockets in a 7-game series?
But as good as SGA is right now, because you could suggest that SGA is the best player in basketball right now, which is another question of its own. As good as SGA is right now, if Chet can continue to stay healthy, J-Dub can continue to stay healthy, SGA has given y'all 3 consecutive first-team All-NBA seasons, maybe the best player inarguably in basketball. If not, if for sure it's an argument, I think they should at least be on the throne looking down at everyone
they're
else.
for sure going to be right there with the Rockets and everybody else. It's what James said. We seen that finals. They picking up full court. Yeah. When they play Oklahoma City, it's the regular season. They picking up full court. They're going to be as aggressive as a referees allow them to be. So they going to get everybody's best shot. When you making $71 million, you just coming off of a championship, everybody's going to give you everything. We picking up full court. We going to be physical. They're going to get that 82 games. And that's going to be tough on them. They're going to have to. They're young, so they'll be able to handle it, but they are going to get everybody's best shot. And I don't know if that means a championship.
James, let me ask you this, because this has been the most polarizing conversation around SGA. Again, breaking news, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, $71 million per year, $285 million literally just happened in real time. Face of the NBA. He's now a champion. He's now MVP in a championship. He's now a 3-time first-team All-NBA player. He's now the highest-paid player in the history of the game of basketball. He just finished his parade literally a week ago today. Is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander now officially that he got the money to back it up? Is he the face of the NBA?
No.
No. Really?
Let me.
For clarity, T, when I do this, that means it's time to hate.
I mean, like I say, man, like, if we got to argue it and we got to plead a case for it, I don't think you're the face of the NBA. We've seen Giannis dominate the NBA and win MVPs and championships and all that, and he's not the face of the NBA. We've seen Joker do the same thing, and he's not the face of the NBA. And now we're seeing Shai do it, and he's not the face of the NBA. I don't think it's a clear-cut face of the NBA right now. I still think all of these guys are out there fighting for that. Yeah. And Shai, even with this money, I think he's still fighting to be the face of the NBA. But right now, as we sit up here today, what's it, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
No.
Face of the NBA.
No, LeBron James is still the face of the NBA. Everybody know that. LeBron is the face of the NBA.
Is Shai first in line? Because after LeBron moves on, after Steph Curry moves on, after Kevin Durant moves on, we're looking for another face. We're looking for Jason Tatum. We're looking for Anthony Edwards. We're looking for Ja Morant. We're looking for Zion Williamson. We're looking for Cooper Flagg. We're looking for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We're looking for Giannis. We're looking for Nikola Jokic. Is Shai the first in line now after the old guard officially moves on to become the face of the NBA, $285 million guaranteed?
His game should put him first in line, but his personality, you got to have the game and the personality. And he just seems like he's a real quiet dude. The NBA, they would want Anthony Edwards to be that guy because of his personality. So I'm going to say he's first in line with his game, but not in who he is as a person and his personality.
But even game-wise, usually when you go and you say, I'm buying a ticket to go see Michael Jordan, or I'm buying a ticket to go see LeBron James, or I'm buying a ticket to go see Steph Curry or Anthony Edwards, their games are exciting. I'm not sitting up here saying that Shai is not a good player. Shai's a great player, and he's dominating the league, but his game is not super, super exciting. I believe if you are going to be the face of the NBA, number one, your game has to be super exciting. His is not super exciting on top of having the personality. Gotcha. And I think that's why we have not gave it to Joker yet. His game is not super exciting. Now, the one I argue with is Giannis. I know Giannis can't shoot the three, but Giannis's game, you're going to go buy a ticket to see Giannis play basketball. You know what I'm saying? With Shai, I don't necessarily know if you're spending your hard-earned money to take your son to go see Shai play a basketball game because his game is not really that exciting. That's just me.
That's incredibly well said. I'll close it like this, and T said it and James said it, and it's very fascinating as I'm realizing it. Shai should be a testament to hard work paying off, regardless of what you do and regardless of where you do it. Remember, the Clippers, I won't suggest that they gave up on him, but they traded him away after his rookie season, in the midst of the rookie season, and then he worked by his 6th year, 5th in MVP votes, first team All-NBA. By his next year, 2nd in MVP, first team All-NBA, and then this year, MVP winner, first team All-NBA, Finals MVP, highest paid player in the history of the National Basketball Association. Shout out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We'll see what the future holds for him. Hey, we got to go from the NBA to the WNBA because the craziest thing you will hear, Caitlin Clark, #1 in fan voting as a guard, #3 in media voting, but her own peers ranked her the 9th best guard in the WNBA. It seems like it screams absolute hate, jealousy, animosity, or maybe she's just actually not that good. Gonna get unfiltered next in the facility. Don't forget, check us out every day, Fox Sports Channel, Sirius XM. Hey, in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, 1.2 million All-Star votes, the highest of any other player. But weirdly enough, though the media suggested that she was maybe the 3rd best guard and the fans suggested she was maybe their favorite, WNBA players ranked her 9th. 9th amongst guards in the league. This was one of the more frustrating things I saw yesterday because there comes a point to me when thinking about Caitlin Clark being ranked as the 9th best guard in the league by her peers. It is either delusion or it is jealousy. Because when you watch Caitlin Clark play the game of basketball, they don't treat her like she's the 9th best guard. They don't pick her up full court like she's the 9th best guard. They don't blitz her after she crosses half court like she's the 9th best guard. They don't double team her like she's the 9th best guard. They don't foul her as though she's the 9th best guard. So to rank her as the 9th best guard leads me to believe it is either delusion or it is jealousy. That's what I'm led to believe. I can't suggest that it is, and I'm not speaking about an individual WNBA player. I'm speaking about the WNBA players, because how in the world do you vote her as the 9th best guard, though you treat her as the best, the 2nd best, or as worst, 3rd best guard? But I'm reminded of this, and I hope Caitlin Clark understands this, that criticism is the cost of praise. And what you have to pay in order to receive praise is criticism. And Caitlin Clark has received a lot of praise, and as a result, she will thus get a lot of criticism. I'm also reminded that love begets hate. If TJ loves me, James is going to hate me just by nature of the fact that TJ loves me. That's just the way the world works. If somebody hates you, other people are going to love you just because other individuals hate you. So when I think about Caitlin Clark and the dilemma she's facing currently with the W, you voted the 9th best guard by your peers, and why don't they treat you like the 9th best guard? They don't, because there has to be some version of delusion here or some version of jealousy. But also, Caitlin, because so many people praise you, other people are going to hate you. And I think that's what we're seeing here now. I'm not going to sit here and say that WNBA players hate her. The word hate is subjective. But what I am going to say, which is very objective, is there is some version of animosity based upon the love that Caitlin Clark is receiving by everybody else.
I agree. Go ahead, T.
It's what I said yesterday when they put Joe Burrow #7. This list don't matter. It don't matter. And you may not like Caitlin Clark, and that's okay. But when you finish 1st in assists and 7th in points as a rookie, and you're not the 9th best player in the league, the
Guard.
9th best guard. So that means they got you somewhere in the 20s and 30s,
Player-wise.
but you're finishing top 10 statistically as a rookie. He said hate is a strong word. The hate is real.
Yeah.
It must be her game. You don't like her. You don't like the attention she's getting. She proved as a rookie that, I can really play. Diana Taurasi was like, it's going to be different. You come into the WNBA, you're not going to do what you did in college. She started off, she had to kind of find her way, and when she found her way, she was balling. And what did Diana Taurasi say? Oh, yeah, she's a lot better than I thought she would be this early.
Yeah.
And so for her fellow players, with her peers, to do this, the list can't be real. They must just want to keep motivating this young lady, because now everybody I play, I'm not shaking your hand, I'm not talking to you, I'm busting your you-know-what every time we play. And this is what they're doing to her. They're motivating her, and do you really want to give her more motivation? Because she can really play. It ain't fair. I don't know what the agenda is, like why. And, everybody talking about Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark, get all this. If y'all stop doing this, we stop talking about it then.
Both of y'all are right on. The hate is real. The best player in the WNBA, in my humble opinion, is A'ja Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of players right now having a better season than A'ja Wilson. They not better than A'ja Wilson. And if you said they were, you would be hating. Caitlin Clark is a top 5 player in the WNBA. How is she the 9th best guard? She's a top 5 player in the WNBA. And she showed that not just because her name on the back is Caitlin Clark, by the way she's played. Her team is way better with her on the court. Everybody is bragging about Aaliyah Boston right now. I want to show y'all something because Aaliyah Boston is dominating, but she ain't dominating without Caitlin Clark on the court. I just want y'all to look at this right now. The 7 games without Caitlin Clark, look at Aaliyah Boston's stat line. Everything is way, way, way down because of the attention Caitlin Clark is getting. Because of her and Caitlin Clark's connection and the way Caitlin Clark can pass the ball. That is why she is number 1 in assists, and she has missed a bunch of games. She is still making everybody around her better. Her team averages 12 more points a game with Caitlin Clark on the basketball court than without her on the basketball court. This is an all-star. I think Aaliyah Boston was like 2nd or 3rd in voting. This is an all-star player, but without Caitlin Clark on the basketball court, Aaliyah Boston is not having an all-star year. Caitlin Clark is a top 5 player in the WNBA. Put some respect on her name. Stop hating on the young lady. She's a baller. She has shown us that. That is why the eyeballs is tuned into the WNBA. That is why JJ has a WNBA League Pass. And yes, I'm blessed to see the other girls that are balling too, because those other girls that are on the list are balling too. But let's just keep it a buck, man, and let's stop doing it. And Acho, you said it right. They don't treat her like the 9th best guard. Because the 9th best guard is like the 4th best receiver. He ain't getting no attention. You know what I'm saying? He only playing 25 plays a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if y'all want to treat her like that, then start treating her like that, then show me she's the 9th best player.
Yeah.
By the way you treat her. But right now you treating her like she is a A'ja Wilson and a Breanna Stewart and those type players. That's how you guard her. So don't do her like this when you gotta vote on
Here's
her.
what I can't understand is
That's
usually the hazing period of an incoming rookie lasts a couple months, maybe a year at most. We've all been there. Maybe college, the new 5-star shows up in the building. In the NFL, the 1st-round pick, who's supposed to be the chosen one, shows up into the building, and you look at him for a little bit, and you're like, man, who are you? Then after about 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, they've earned your respect. You allow them to enter the fraternity, sorority in this case. How come, at least on the outside looking in, it's not as though we're in the sorority, how come it has taken so long, at least it appears, for the WNBA peers to adopt Caitlin Clark? I want to show y'all something before y'all answer this question. Look at what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or helped do for the WNBA. Merchandise sales up 600%. All-star voting up 536%. WNBA draft viewership up 320%. All-star game viewers up 300%. Sellouts within arenas up 242%. And overall attendance up 54% since Caitlin Clark has joined the WNBA. I'm not going to say she's exclusively responsible. I think that'd be hyperbolic at best and asinine at worst. But I will say she had definitely played a large part in being responsible for that. How come there hasn't been an adoption by her peers? Why is there still so much envy? You played 12 years pro. You played 9 years pro. How come?
I believe when you look at it, it's the attention that she received coming into the WNBA. No, we hadn't seen that from a female athlete. We hadn't seen that. Just that type of attention in a team sport. It was like, oh my God, Caitlin Clark is coming to the WNBA. She's going to be the savior. If she didn't play well, we wouldn't be talking about her. She leads all guards in the WNBA in double-doubles, and she's missed games. She's still leading all the guards in double-doubles with the games that she's missed. And so, to me,
stop it.
I just believe the way she came into the WNBA with all the hype, we hadn't seen this before. They hadn't hyped a player up like this. They were on, oh, she may come in and be a top 5 player immediately. She may be the best player. And they didn't like it. They didn't like that. You got to earn your stripes, so to speak. And so when she earned her stripes, it's what Acho said, okay, the hazing should stop. They still trolling her. When you rank her 9th, you trolling her.
Let me ask somewhere that unconventional, but it's a facility. We got to go there. If the cameras weren't here, I'd ask y'all this question. If it's off, if it's out of bounds, stop me. How much has race played a factor? Because
I knew where you were going. Yes.
Like, how much has race played a factor? Because we've been in reverse situations, right? I've been in situations where if I'm playing on an all-black team and this cold white dude joined the squad and it's like, hold on. Track and field, you see it primarily. It's like, Come on, what we talking about? If Caitlin James looked and sounded and walked and talked more like her peers, and or maybe if she didn't go to Iowa and she went to like a UConn and had a lot more of her sisters from college in the W, how much do you think the race has played a factor in all of this? Because she is a white woman in a league that is primarily black women, like in football, it's primarily black and brown people. And when you see a white person in there, it is like, oh, Christian McCaffrey, that's interesting. Oh, Jason Sehorn, John Lynch, that's interesting. Like, how much has that played a factor?
To be honest with you, I don't really think it plays too much of a factor in this situation. And what I mean by that is jealousy is real.
Okay, let me pause you. Juju. Cold. But we don't see it with Juju. So what's the...
Hold on, that's what I'm about to get to. Jealousy is real. I truly feel like if Juju Smith was Caitlin Clark.
No.
Hold on.
Not Juju Smith.
I mean, not Juju. Juju Smith.
But yes, we know.
If Juju was Caitlin Clark and she came into the WNBA and you just showed that thing that you showed, and the WNBA is only here because of Juju. The WNBA attendance, all of that she's getting, all that Caitlin Clark is getting, I think she still will get treated the same just because she's not white. I do think it'll be a lot of jealousy towards Juju. I really do. I think she would get everybody's best shot. I think they would pick her up from full court. I think they would do all of that.
But that's not the jealousy, though. That's the respect of your game.
That's the jealousy, because the jealousy is, yes, Caitlin Clark is here, but she's not the only one doing that. She's not the best player in the WNBA. She's not like the women they're thinking like that too. So we're going to show you. Why do you think Diana Taurasi said that? I've been here. I'm better than her.
But the jealousy to me, though, Jay, doesn't stem from how they treat her on the court. Outside of the excessive and aggressive fouls after the whistle, that to me could scream some jealousy. The jealousy to me is, how in the world do y'all vote her as the 9th best guard in the W? The jealousy to me screams, she's not the only one who did it. I did it too. The jealousy to me is some of the extracurricular stuff that occurs outside the whistle. I don't know, and then I'm also wondering, does Caitlin Clark play a role in that? Right? Because Caitlin Clark doesn't appear to have a ton of friends outside of the Iowa squad or her team squad. Whereas the Juju Watkins seems to have. The Asia seems to have a lot of them. The Kelsey Plums even. So how much of a factor and a role does Caitlin Clark play in all of this? And does she need to be more outgoing? Does she need to make sure she's showing up at other events or for other people? Does she need to try to fit in? WNBA is 19% white, 81% non-white. So does she need to take onus to say, you know what, I'm from Iowa. I'm a white girl in a league that's not primarily dominated by me. Everybody is giving me love outside of here. Maybe I need to find a way to do more.
She didn't go to a traditional powerhouse college in Iowa. That's number one. But everybody, you want to feel appreciated. So the rest of the players feel like all the credit has been given to Caitlin Clark for the rise of the W.
That's all.
They just want to feel appreciated.
That's it. And I think
we didn't play a part in this. Yeah. We didn't help build this league, because every 600% in viewership and merchandise sales, and you think it's just her, or it's an evolution of the league and the players getting better, the overall game. And because it went to Caitlin Clark and it was like, whoa, all right, we got something with her, and she's just the face of it. And I do kind of agree with you, James. If it had been anybody else and they were getting the bulk of the credit, they would be at their neck. Mm-hmm. They would be at her neck, and it just so happened to be it's Caitlin Clark getting the bulk of the credit.
Like anything, even with the NFL, we talk about like the Cowboys all the time. If you play for the Cowboys, you're going to get a whole lot more attention. We always talked about if Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons would switch, Myles Garrett would have 97,000 commercials and all that. It's been plenty of dudes on certain teams. You're like, he made the Pro Bowl over me. Probably because he was on that team. And then that's when the jealousy factor kicks in.
I agree. But sometimes wouldn't y'all suggest some people are more likable than others?
No doubt.
And how likable is Caitlin? You know what I mean? In the sense of like,
her game, she don't care. She don't care if you, she seems like the type of person, I don't care if you like me.
But this going to be a very long career if you have to live in a sorority with a bunch of individuals who don't necessarily gravitate to or respect you.
And that is well said, and it brings me to Paige. Paige is a baller, but Paige's personality is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's friends with all of them. She's TikToking with them. Like, her personality is phenomenal, and they embraced her.
But Paige is also a much more seemingly cultured individual than Caitlin Clark.
And Paige,
I would assume, can relate.
She played at UConn with a ton of WNBA players on your team, coming back to practice, and so you're around these girls. They know you. It's different. That she didn't have that at Iowa. When you play at UConn, you're a bunch of girls in the WNBA. They're going to come back and practice. They're going to come back and see Coach Gino. So now they get to know you. They know you as a person, so they're going to treat you differently.
It all comes back to the attention she's getting. And that is why they are treating her like that. It all comes back to that.
Hey, well, speaking of attention, something that has ours, the Steelers, who made a gigantic splash yesterday. But now the question is this. Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, said this was his last year playing. So how much pressure is he under? Any added pressure with the addition of Jalen Ramsey, a future Hall of Famer as well? Hey, that's next in the facility. Aaron Rodgers, he's not going to stay in Pittsburgh for too long. And Jalen Ramsey, he ain't staying in Miami long at all. He on the move, along with Jonnu Smith, that man on your screen. The Steelers got better yesterday. Many people would at least suggest they did. Aaron Rodgers gets a future Hall of Famer in Jalen Ramsey. But more than that, you get Jonnu Smith at tight end. James Jones, the Steelers, you played with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. You won a championship with him there. So you know pressure. Do the Steelers' moves put added pressure on future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers? No.
No added pressure. Yesterday I sat up here with my dog TJ, and he's phenomenal at TV. You know what I'm saying? He liked that. And he said, before these signings, I gave them a 3% chance of being a team like that. So now I'm going to give them about 6 to 10% chance. So what pressure is that on Aaron Rodgers? It is no pressure on Aaron Rodgers when you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, even them adding these pieces. Now, the cherry on top is if Aaron Rodgers plays well, they're going to be a good football team. They could compete with the best of the best in the AFC. But when you just talk about added pressure, I don't think these moves tilted the scale for a lot of other people other than myself, or maybe even you being high on it. I think they still think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers before this trade. So I don't think this is any pressure on Aaron Rodgers at all. I think Aaron Rodgers has took some of the pressure off himself, too, when he said, hey, man, this might be my last one. And everybody kind of just, let's enjoy my dog. You know what I'm saying? Let's watch him. So I don't think it's no added pressure.
The reason I disagree with Jay is for this reason. Once again, an organization has made roster adjustments for Aaron Rodgers. The New York Jets completely changed the roster for Aaron Rodgers. Wait, you want Alan Lazard? Oh, okay, fine. You want Randall Cobb? But Randall Cobb's probably going to retire, but all right, fine. Nathaniel Hackett, you want us to hire him? All right, cool, I guess. Devontae Adams, but we got to give up a second-round pick. Okay, sure. The Jets completely made roster adjustments for Aaron Rodgers, got nothing out of it in return. And here again, we see the Steelers acquiring Jonnu Smith, one-year deal, $12 million, acquiring Jalen Ramsey, got to get rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick. I know Minkah Fitzpatrick, 3 first-team All-Pros in just 6 years with the Steelers, but fine, Aaron Rodgers. We need Jonnu Smith. We got to move Minkah. We'll get Ramsey. Once again, they're making roster adjustments for him, and that's why, to me, T, it is added pressure on Rodgers because this team is changing the DNA of the team just for Aaron Rodgers.
They made these moves for Aaron?
I think if Rodgers isn't there, I don't think they're acquiring Jonnu Smith because I think they would know they don't have a shot. If Kenny Pickett's there, if not Kenny Pickett, if
they're not acquiring
Will Howard is there, I think they know they don't have a shot. So why even acquire Jonnu Smith for Will Howard to throw him the ball, or for Mason Rudolph to throw him the ball? I think Aaron Rodgers gives you so much hope that you say to yourself, let's go for it all.
But that's the organization.
Yes.
Yes. Aaron didn't go up there and say,
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think that at all.
Gotcha.
I don't even think with the Jets, Aaron said, no, Randall Cobb, obviously, Aaron would have said something. But I think it's the organization saying, oh, we got a chance. Let's go for it.
It puts pressure on them. And when you look at it, James says this all the time. His season wasn't bad last year. And it wasn't. It just wasn't winning football. And when you're a quarterback, if it isn't winning football, it's a bad season. Like, his last where he was that dude was 2021. And when you look at it, he only threw for 4,100 yards. Last year, he threw for 3,900. But he had 37 touchdowns and 4 picks. Like, Aaron Rodgers, he's going to have to hold up his end of the bargain. That's the thing. When you trade for Jalen Ramsey, you give him a little pay raise, You trade Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's younger. Aaron Rodgers has to hold up his end of the bargain. And because when teams take away DK Metcalf, what are they going to do? That's where Aaron Rodgers can show, okay, I don't have to be the old Aaron Rodgers, but there's still glimpses of him. I just feel like this is going to come down to when they need him. They playing the Bengals, it's a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Can he be a part of that shootout? They playing the Ravens, and it's a shootout. Can he be a part of that shootout? They're going to be in every game because of this defense. But when they need him, the top quarterbacks, 3-4 games a year, can you put us on your back?
James, why do you think he can? If he can do it, you know Aaron Rodgers best. Why do you think he can?
Why I think he can, number one, because he a bad mama jamma. But another reason why I think he can is because I think this Jonnu Smith addition is going to be very, very good for the Pittsburgh Steelers of how they going to use Aaron Rodgers in this offense. And we finna break this down.
Show me how then, Jay. Show me how. You want this Cardinals play up first? You want
right here, we can just leave it right here. But let's go Cardinals first.
Cardinals first.
12 personnel.
What is 12 personnel, James Jones?
You know what it is. It is 2 tight ends.
1 tight end right there, 1 tight end right there.
That's it. And it is 2 wide receivers.
Okay, so I got my wide receiver right there. I got my wide receiver right there.
And it is 1 running back.
Okay, my running back is right there here in the backfield.
And it's the baddest man in the planet.
You already know who that is. You already know who that is.
But 12 personnel, this is what 12 personnel allows you to do. It allows you to pass the ball because you have pass-catching tight ends, and you have tight ends that can block, and it allows you to run the ball against smaller defenders because you're going to have to put a corner out there if you're going to stop the passing game. You don't want linebackers guarding these tight ends all game. So right here, you can see this is 12 personnel. You got Donald Lee, you got Jermichael Finley right here at the bottom of your screen to the left, right? Aaron Rodgers in 12 personnel is phenomenal because he knows where to throw the ball, and he's going to put the ball any and everywhere he needs to put the ball.
Show me something, Jay.
Pass catchers, run the play. Right here, pop, Jermichael Finley, ball out, pause it. Go back a little bit.
Hold on. That was a dot. That was a dot.
Hey, we ain't seen that in a minute. It's been a long time.
Hold on. Let me try to catch it. It's going to be hard to stop it. It's going to be hard to stop it.
Look at the ball placement. These tight ends have never played with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. When you play with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you are never covered. But imagine this being a linebacker or a smaller corner, and Aaron Rodgers can put this ball any and everywhere he wants to put the ball, because it's one thing about Aaron Rodgers that might go. His legs may go, TJ. His legs may go, Acho. His arm ain't going nowhere, and we are going to see that. But that is what the 2 tight ends formations allows you to do. J-Mike was a bad man, but they got 2 over there that's going to be good.
Let me see what this one's talking about.
What is it, Acho?
It looked like 12 personnel, Jay. It looked like 12 personnel. I see. It looked like a tight end right there.
Yep.
It looked like I got a tight end right there with the hand in the line.
That's it right there.
It looked like I got me 1, 2 wideouts, and it looks like I got my running back right there in the backfield.
But when you look at the formation, what it looked like, TJ? It looked like 3 wide. Because now you bump your tight end out with Jermichael Finley, but you're still in 12 personnel. That's a bad man right there. That's Lance Briggs.
But it's a linebacker. That
has to deal with a tight end, because you don't want to take the linebacker off the field, because you see the young Ryan Grant. We can run the ball downhill if a nickel's in there, if a different corner's in there. You don't want that. So now you got linebackers guarding Jermichael Finley. So as you run the play right here.
Yes, sir.
Aaron, yep, get in it, right? Stick concept right here. You have Jermichael Finley, you got Donald Driver. Obviously, Aaron extends the play, but linebackers cannot cover is what I'm trying to let the world know. You cannot cover good pass-catching tight ends. That's why you got the tight ends like the Travis Kelce's and those. They're difficult to handle. When you get in 12 personnel, you are going to force the other team to have to make a decision. Do we take Emmanuel Acho off the field? Or do we let Emmanuel Acho stay on the field and have to cover Jonnu Smith and Freiermuth and Darnell Washington?
Incredibly well said. Aaron Rodgers, 12 personnel. You've seen what he's done in the past, but like TJ Houshmandzadeh said, can he do it in the future? If he can, that spells great success for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, when we return, it's time to have a serious conversation about the different AFC teams and where they land. We're bringing out a pressure cooker, and we're talking about the Chiefs. We're talking about the Ravens. We're talking about the Texans. We're talking about the Chargers, talking about the Steelers. How much pressure is on notable NFL AFC teams? You know, some might call me Chef Boy R.E., if you will, and I'm sitting here ready to cook. The reason I'm ready to cook is because I got this pot, and it's a little pressure cooker, and the point of this all is to try to figure out, hey, what AFC teams are under the most pressure? I'm going to pull out an AFC team that's in the pressure cooker, and these individuals that played 20-plus years collectively in the National Football League are going to tell me, the man that is chefing, the man that has the gloves, the man that has the hat, the man that has the apron, these individuals are going to tell me what teams and how much pressure they are under. James Jones.
You start with me.
I'm starting with, no, I don't want to start with you anymore because it's the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, start
if
with
I'm
me,
allowed to,
keep it trill.
Coleman Marshall, if I'm allowed to start with TJ, who played for the Cincinnati Bengals, was drafted with the Cincinnati Bengals, how much pressure are the Bengals under?
I'm going to keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck, dog.
10.
Thank you, sir.
10. We got to get it done. We got one of the best quarterbacks, the best receivers in the league. We got to get it done. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Okay, he kept it real. Let's see if James Jones will. Okay, that was not okay. This is the Kansas City Chiefs. How much pressure, James Jones?
We went from 10 to 1. What pressure's on the Kansas City Chiefs? At our worst, we at the AFC Championship. Let's just say they don't go this year.
A 1?
A 1. It ain't no pressure on Patty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. This is what they do. It's no added pressure on them. For the last 7 years, they've been in the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship. 1.
Let's see then how much pressure another team is under.
There we go.
The Chargers, I got to build up this pressure because I know the Chargers better be under some pressure, T.
8.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Okay, that's a good one.
Ball's teams have always done very well in the second season, but Justin Herbert is yet to win a playoff game. Pressure's on. You got to get it done.
Pressure's on.
I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. James Jones, how much pressure are the Houston Texans under?
Oh, man. Texans.
I put the Texans at a 7. I put the Texans at a 7 because at one point we got to take the next step.
Fair.
We can't keep winning one playoff game and we got all these pieces. Add C.J. Gardner-Johnson to a really good defense.
Fair.
7.
Let's see what's left. Let's see what's left. The last one. The last one. How much pressure, T, are the Steelers under?
Pittsburgh Steelers, 9.
9?
You got Aaron Rodgers. You're making all these trades. Everybody thinks you're going to do this. They think you got to show up. And you're in the division. Well, you have the third worst quarterback in the division.
One more.
A lot of pressure.
There's one more. There's one more. I got to build this up. I have to build this up. I have to build this up for dramatic effect.
Oh, 22. 22. I don't care what the graphics say. 10, 22. Oh, my goodness. Lamar Jackson, you already know what it is, man. You are a bad mamma jamma. But when them playoffs come, that bad mamma jamma does not show up consistently.
I'm tired of cooking. I want to comment.
Go ahead. Comment on this one. This the one.
The comment.
This the one.
I would probably say, they're a 10. Maybe a 15. Like the Baltimore Ravens have yet to do what they're capable of doing when it matters most. They're capable of making it to a Super Bowl. They're capable of beating the Buffalo Bills. They're capable of beating the Kansas City Chiefs. They hosted a game at the bank just 2 playoffs ago. They had the number 1 defense 2 playoffs ago. You now have Jair Alexander. You have Marlon Humphrey. You have Nate Wiggins. You have Malachi Starks. You have the other safety in Kyle Hamilton.
They have a super team.
You have an absolute super team. I think they have to find a way to get something done.
And the reason I believe they will, Lamar is getting better, man. Like, people talk, like the way he threw the ball last year with the accuracy, he's only gonna get better. Like, we hadn't seen that it was, Lamar can't throw the ball. They're relying on the run game so much. He can throw it, and we know he can run it. This may be their year.
If Lamar is the regular season quarterback that he always is, they walk into the Super Bowl with this team.
And they walking out with the trophy.
And they walking out of there with the trophy. Like, if Lamar's that dude, it's on Lamar.
Yeah.
And it's not even on you to do nothing crazy. It's on you to be you. If he is him, they walking.
Be regular season.
I think Lamar got to borrow this. Lamar, it's time for you to cook, bro.
Yeah. Give it to him.
I don't need this one no more. Lamar, it's on you.
Black.
It's time to cook. Hey, when we return, the Rockets, they made a blockbuster trade, not just for Kevin Durant, but this offseason they've made a ton of moves. Are they the biggest threat to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, highest paid player in the league, and his Thunder? That's next. KD, what do you got to say about winning the chip? Beautiful people. Again, thank y'all for tuning into the facility. You could be watching any show. You're hanging out with us. Don't take it for granted. It's a lovely Tuesday here in California. Hey, and it's lovely for the Rockets because they have made a lot of moves, notably Kevin Durant. But yesterday, they acquired Lakers starter at the 4 position when Rui got hurt, Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. They also added center Clint Capella. When you now look at the Rockets roster, they're really filling it out from top to bottom. Dorian Finney-Smith played some very extremely valuable minutes for the Lakers, especially with Rui dealing with that injury towards the back half of the season. So it looks like the Rockets added another starter to a lineup that will likely include Şengün. You got Van Fleet at the point. Yeah. You're going to have Kevin Durant. You're going to have DFS. You got Jabari Smith back. You got Thompson. Like so many players and pieces there. James Jones. Are KD's Rockets a real threat? Like, are they a real threat to the Thunder?
To the Thunder?
To win a championship. The Thunder are the reigning champs. They're
a real threat to everybody. Oh. Everybody coming to Houston. Everybody see Houston coming to you. They are a threat to everybody. If you look at their roster and you added KD, and then you add Smith, they are going to be able to defend too, Acho. Because KD can defend. He is long. He can defend. You have Amir Thompson, who we know he can defend. And then you add Smith. He can. This is going to be a really good basketball team that is going to be really well coached as well. Last year, it was all about having that star player that could get you a bucket. This was the number 2 seed. They did not have that. Now you have that guy in the building and KD on that side of the ball that can get you a bucket at any time, at any moment. And then you add another defender and you add Clint Capella as well, an athletic big. They're not just a problem for OKC. They are a problem for everybody in the West.
I think I'm giving an unbiased take.
Are we waiting?
Because every time I talk about Kevin Durant, people say I'm hating.
Yeah.
But I think I'm giving an unbiased take. How can you lead me to believe that the Rockets are legitimately going to be champions when Kevin Durant, since he has left the Golden State Warriors, has only won 2 playoff series? How can you legitimately lead me to believe that the Houston Rockets are going to be a ultimately uber-competitive basketball team when Kevin Durant has played with players better than Van Fleet, has played with players better than Clint Capella, has played with players better than Amen Thompson, when he's played with Devin Booker and played with Bradley Beal, and the Suns got worse? I'm trying to give an unbiased take. But I thought Kevin Durant plus Kyrie Irving plus James Harden was going to work, especially when you had a 2-time MVP as head coach and Steve Nash. I'm trying to give an unbiased take. I'm trying to give an unbiased take. Viewers at home, I'm trying to give an unbiased take. I believe I'm unbiased. I think I'm unbiased. I hope I'm unbiased. I pray I'm unbiased. But when I think about Kevin Durant joining the Rockets, I'm asking myself, it didn't work with Devin Booker, and it didn't work with Bradley Beal. They didn't have a head coach, though. Wait, they had Frank Vogel, who won a championship. No, they didn't have a head coach, though. Wait, they had Bud, who won a championship. Wait, they didn't have a head coach. They had Monty Williams, who won to a championship. And Emi Udoka hasn't won a championship. I'm trying to give an unbiased take.
Yeah.
I think it can, maybe, probably, hopefully, with prayer and fasting and supplication work. I think. But, it hasn't worked in better situations and better circumstances. Roster-wise, I think they have it. Pieces, I think they have it. Heartbeat, I think they have it. But for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked for KD in the last 6 years. Again, viewers at home, I'm trying to give an unbiased take.
The Rockets are the threat. And this is a thing.
To who?
To the NBA. Not just the Thunder, everybody. Now, this is the thing, though. So as you were talking, I'm sitting here thinking like, he has a point. But then what were the Brooklyn Nets before KD got there? They were nothing. What were the Phoenix Suns? They were a little more than nothing.
They were great.
No. The year before he got there, they weren't great.
They were a 60-win team for 2 years of the 3 years prior.
But the year before, the year before he got there, they were just okay.
Sure.
He's going to a Rockets team that was a number 2 seed, won 52 games. So he's going into a better situation in Houston that he went to.
Not in Phoenix. I can't give you Phoenix.
Yes.
I can't give you Phoenix.
They weren't the number 2 seed.
The reason I can't is the Phoenix Suns actually went to a championship. Remember, 2021, they lost to the Bucks.
That team that was a main player is Devin Booker that returned.
Sure.
He's the only.
Sure.
Aiden was gone. Chris Paul was gone. And so the main player from that team that was still there.
Gone. Cam was gone.
Right. Is Devin Booker. So now when you put him on a Houston Rockets team that won 52 games, and they just needed that guy that can close games. We needed that guy. When we need a bucket, we know that's KD. Yeah. He's going to a team that was good without him. They're going to be great with him.
I like that.
But not only that, though, like, I'm just looking at the fit. I think this, besides the Warriors, I think this is the best fit that KD has gone to in his career. And what I mean by that is if the Philadelphia Eagles had 3 Saquon Barkleys, all 3 of them ain't going to have good years. You understand what I'm saying? So when you say Bradley, Bill, Devin, they're really all the same guy in KD. They're true scorers. They're not lockdown defenders they're true scorers. When you talk about this Rockets team, it's everybody really has a role. Mm-hmm. Like, they're a well-built team. You got a center that can score the ball.
Yes,
you got KD that can score the ball. You got 2 dudes that's really just worried about, I got the best player, KD, you catch your breath. You know what I mean? So the way the team is built, this is probably one of the best teams in the West, the way they are built from top to bottom.
In the West, they one of the best teams.
But I'm just saying, and then you got a point guard that's a champion that can shoot the ball and get everybody better. Like, the way they are built is different than the way they were built.
I'm not going to snitch on you because Shady called me out for snitching before. I've grown sitting in this desk. I won't snitch on you. I've learned. I'm matured. But T, I know this much. If a friend were to tell me, hey, Ach, I got this stock. I want you to invest in it. And I invest heavy into that stock, about 20% of my net worth, and then it goes under. And then 2 years later, I get another call from that friend's relative and says, hey, Ach, I got this stock. I want you to invest in it. And I take 10% of my net worth this time and I invest in it. And then again, 2 years later, it goes under. Then why, when the Houston Rockets and Kevin Durant call and say, hey, Ach, I got this stock. I want you to believe in us. Why would I do the same thing? What you're saying or what you're saying, it makes sense. It's a different team. It's a different team. It's a different team. It makes sense. But y'all, like, I was all in on the Nets' big 3. And I was partially in on the Suns' big 3. Is there not at least, my final question for both of you, starting with you, James, is there not at least a shadow of doubt that, like, for Kevin Durant, it hasn't worked, and he's played under better coaches, or at least more winning coaches, and he's played with better players. Yes, the fit looks great on paper, but James, given what you've seen the last 5 years, is there not at least a little bit of doubt that suggests maybe I'm wrong?
Yeah, I mean, no, because I look at the situations. Brooklyn situation, I don't even count that. Him and Harden and Kyrie played, maybe 15 games or something together, 20 games or something? I don't even count that. Kyrie was dealing with his off-the-court stuff. James Harden was in and out, dealing with injuries and all that. It really was KD there. The Suns, I can get with you a little bit on the Suns, but I still feel like the fit. You have 3 dudes. Like, going to the Suns, we were having conversations like, who's going to have the ball in their hands at the end of the game? Who's going to be the main leader on the team? Who's going to be the scorer and all that? We know what's going down in Houston. We know everybody's roles and what's going to happen. I just think the situation that he's going in, man, it's a whole lot different than the last 2 situations that failed.
This is why it's a huge difference. Harden, Kyrie, Durant, they scorers. They ain't really playing defense like that. Same thing with Phoenix. You go to Houston, these young boys are playing defense.
Correct.
They're playing defense. You have Steven Adams coming off the bench, Clay Capella, defense, defense, defense. Dorian Finney-Smith coming off the bench, defense. Amin Thompson start lineup, defense. Jabari Smith in the start lineup, defense. Ooh. They didn't have that on the previous stops with Brooklyn and Phoenix. This team is built different.
We will talk more about that later. Hey, somebody built different, Caitlin Clark. But the most shocking thing, by her peers, she was voted the 9th best guard. But the fans said she's the best, and media said she's the 3rd best. Is it absolute hate? Is it just jealousy? What is it? We're going to go there after the break. That's next. Caitlin Clark, leading vote getter for the WNBA All-Star Game. She has 1.3 million votes this year alone. Hey, 2 years ago, all players got like 1.17 million votes. She's that much of a star, but ask her peers, she's only the 9th best guard in the league. Shocking, appalling, really, if you ask me. The 9th best guard in the league. I said this earlier. They don't treat her like the 9th best guard. They don't double team her like the 9th best guard. They don't blitz her like the 9th best guard. So how in the world do you rank her as the 9th best guard in the WNBA? TJ, something or nothing that her peers seemingly, if we're going to be honest, seemingly aren't as fond of her as we are.
Nothing. If you're not doing well, then they wouldn't be hating on you the way they hating. It's nothing.
So they are hating is what you're saying.
Yeah, they hating on her. And she's used to this. Well, at least she should be used to it because the day she stepped foot in the WNBA, this is how they've been doing her. And whether it's we're going to play you aggressively, we're going to come, she going to have a hard time in the league. Oh, I'm just going to lead the league in assists. You're going to have a hard time scoring. I'm just going to be 7th in scoring as a rookie. If I'm Caitlin Clark, this is just going to motivate me, man. All it's going to do is continue to motivate me, and I'm going to keep busting y'all tail. And I don't know if she talked trash during the game, but my body language going to let everybody know, keep on, keep up.
Man, embrace her, man. Like, I'm just praying that, like, these WNBA players embrace her because Caitlin Clark is helping change this game. Embrace her. Is it certain players out there that's better than Caitlin Clark? Absolutely. But embrace her. It's going to make the game better. Does that mean still not pick her up from 97,000 feet and compete against her extremely hard? Absolutely not. You guys are competitors. You continue to keep doing that. But embrace her. One thing I know about the National Football League, whether we like somebody or not, we may not like him when he's walking in that building, but once we know he's a baller and once he knows we know he's going to make our game better, we embrace him.
Let me ask y'all this. Because now let's move the conversation forward. What will it take for Caitlin Clark to be embraced by her peers? It's not the fact that she's not balling, she's balling. It's not the fact that she's not increasing revenue and whatnot to the WNBA. Colvin, let's put up this graphic. I want them to see the merchandise sales, the ticket sales, everything sales. Let's put that up. I want viewers at home, I want y'all to know this as I'm asking this question. Caitlin Clark has obviously done a lot for the WNBA. So what would it take for them to be embraced? Because I think Caitlin Clark, to some degree, is responsible for the lack of being embraced. Merchandise sales, 600% increase. All-star votes, 530%. Draft viewership, 320%. Let's jump down to sellouts, 242%. Overall attendance of stadiums, 54%. TJ, you've played on teams with the loud rookie. You've played on teams with the player who got way too much hype. What does Caitlin need to do to garner the admiration from her peers like she has from the media?
The only thing that they have to see you and know who you are as a person. At these all-star games, you go out to a dinner or just in a locker room, just at the practices, they get to know you as a person. And, she way cooler than I thought. That's how it's going to happen. Nothing in the game is going to change that. It's when they meet her as Caitlin Clark, the person, not the player. In these practices, in the festivities at the All-Star game, I believe that can change their minds about, okay, she isn't what we thought she was. That to me is the only way you can do it because her game, if that hasn't done it, what else can?
But even for me, everybody's not for everybody.
True, but she don't seem to be she for anybody.
You went out to dinner with everybody on the Eagles?
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was different relationships, but you embraced everybody still. All I'm saying is, like, it's a competitive league, but embrace the young woman. She's helping grow your league. That doesn't mean not compete at a high level, but embrace the young lady. It's a bunch of different personalities in the NFL and the WNBA, whatever it may be. I'm not saying you got to get along with her and go out to dinner, but embrace her. When I see these other women in the WNBA interact with each other, it's totally different when they interact with Caitlin Clark.
I agree.
And I'm not saying it's their fault, Caitlin Clark. I'm not even getting into whose fault they are, but embrace her. Because at one point, we all walked in as young players. And we walked in as young players, and we met some dudes that were straight up suckers and punks. Because they didn't want you to be in there. And you felt that. And you ran into some dudes.
And they're going to tell you the wrong, you confused. They're going to tell you the wrong play to run. You be like, I ain't listening to him no more.
And you ran into some dudes like Greg Jennings playing the same thing, and he seen me, knew me for 2 seconds. What up, my dude? Hugs. Oh, I ain't never met G. And I got that type welcome. Paige got that welcome. Angel Reese got that welcome. A lot of these rookies got that welcome, except one. Except one. Embrace the young lady, man.
Hey, well, we got to get to the breaking news. Again, this is a breaking news packed show. Dame Lillard is out with the Milwaukee Bucks, a top 75 player, one of the greatest players of the generation, and he has been waived by the Bucks. They acquired him just a year and a half, you could suggest 2 years ago. But after it did not work, and with an Achilles, you gonna kick a man while he's down? Oh, come on now. We got to respond after the break. It is a week of breaking news. Congratulations if you're watching the facility. It's been one of the most jam-packed shows to date. Hey, Dame Lillard waived by the Milwaukee Bucks. You're talking about a top 75 player all time. You're talking about one of the greatest three-point shooters of the generation. I mean, literally Dame Time nicknamed after him because he's one of the most clutch NBA players. But after being traded to the Milwaukee Bucks just 2 years ago, officially waived. Y'all know me. I got to sound off on this because I have several thoughts. Number one, it was a tenure that was completely unfulfilled. I'm a Bucks fan because I'm a Giannis fan. Dame Lillard showed up in Milwaukee on the heels of them winning a championship, literally a year and change removed, because we thought that Dame Lillard was a missing piece. We thought, okay, if Giannis had somebody to space the floor out, if Giannis had somebody who could run the pick and roll game with them, if Giannis had a true dependable scorer at the end of the games, then that would solve all of the Bucks' issues, and it didn't. It didn't. Ultimately, Dame was oft injured this year with a tragic Achilles injury, capping everything off. But it just didn't work. It never worked because I think that the Bucks overestimated Dame Lillard, and I think they underestimated the likes of Jrue Holiday. I think they underestimated what they were giving up and what they were sacrificing. Now, I blame Giannis, if I'm being honest, and I love me some Giannis, but I've got to blame Giannis because, Giannis, you're the one who watched your team wither away. You're the one who watched Middleton depart. You're the one who watched Jrue Holiday depart. You're the one who recruited Dame Lillard. So it not working out, I can't blame Dame. Giannis, you're the best player on the team. You're the one, I believe it was Adrian Griffin who was the head coach. Y'all were sitting at the 2 seed, and you let him depart as the head coach just to acquire Doc Rivers. I got to blame Giannis. And I think Giannis is a top 15 player of all time. Y'all know me, I'm biased, I don't care. I think Giannis is so great that this falls on the heels and this falls at the feet of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Because you constructed this team, you made this bed, and now you have to lie in it. I'm not surprised that the Bucks waived him. I think he had to be waived. They weren't winning anything with Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard got hurt. They weren't winning nothing when he was healthy. Now he's hurt. He's 34. He's 35 in about 14 days, July 15th. So by the time he comes back, he's going to be 36. He's not getting better. He had to be waived, but to me, this falls at the feet of Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Giannis is the one that has to make it right, Jay.
I disagree.
How?
Because if I was Giannis, I'm making this trade again tomorrow for a healthy Dame Lillard coming out of Portland. Dame was like that. It just sucks that his time in Milwaukee, he dealt with a lot of injuries. So for me, it's the really what if. What if Dame would have stayed healthy? What does this team look like with Giannis and the Bucks? Because that's what it comes down to me. Dame could not stay healthy for 2 years in Milwaukee, so we really, truly never got to see how special this duo really could be because Dame Lillard was never healthy, fully healthy. So it just sucks because Dame Lillard is that type dude, but it had to be done because, I mean, he is coming off an Achilles. You are still trying to build a championship basketball team around Giannis, so you're not going to have Dame Lillard for a whole another year. What does that mean? So I don't mind the move, but I still go back to the what if, Dame Lillard stayed healthy and what this would have looked like because he wasn't healthy for a lot of his
I don't think it would have looked like anything good. Here's what I love about this show. Everybody comes from their own experience, right? James led the league in touchdowns. T had a couple 1,000-yard seasons, obviously, and myself as a backup. But being a backup, you get to see stuff that y'all don't get to see. What I, as a backup, get to see is the glue guys. I get to see the invisible pieces that actually hold the team together. Stars, they focus on getting stats. James focused on leading the league in touchdowns. T's focused on getting 1,000 yards. I'm just focused on if we going to win or not, because the more we win, the more I get a check, because we get into the playoffs. I think Giannis got focused on the star power. Giannis got focused on the fact that Dame Lillard was an all-75 player. I don't think Giannis really focused on the fact of, can Dame help me get to where I want to go, and what am I sacrificing to acquire Dame? How do we sacrifice ourselves defensively when we acquire Dame? What am I giving up from a glue standpoint of a team that we have built over the course of time, and then we added Jrue Holiday as a cherry on top to get us over the hump to acquire Dame? I think Giannis severely overestimated, like y'all are doing with the Kevin Durant conversation, I think Giannis severely overestimated star power as opposed to the glue guys on the team. T, what's your thoughts on the reaction to it all?
This is what I believe Giannis was doing. Chris Middleton was banged up and hurt.
Always, yep.
Giannis knew they needed scoring. He knew they needed scoring. Jrue Holiday is a great defensive player. He's not a scorer like Damian Lillard. So once he realized, oh, we have a chance to get Damian Lillard, I need somebody with me that can score. So that's what he did. Now, with this move, again, is 100% for Giannis. If the Bucks don't stretch Damian Lillard, they can't make any moves. They have no cap space. So they're doing everything in their power to keep Giannis happy. Mm-hmm. You know, they go sign Miles Turner with this move because they want to keep Giannis happy. This is the NBA. Your best players, they get what they want. Your best players, we gonna do this? No, we gonna do this because this is what I want. Mm-hmm. He wanted Damian Lillard because they needed scoring. They made it happen. Y'all can stretch Damian Lillard. We don't see this. How often do you see a guy stretched and waive when you have over $100 million guaranteed? Giannis said, this is what I need y'all to do because I want to be competitive or I'm out of here.
Because first off, this had to happen is what I think people have to realize. Like, Jay, I realized a long time ago this had to happen. Bucks were not winning anything with Dame Lillard. They were not winning anything. They were getting much further away from a championship than they were getting closer to a championship. It just didn't work. Now, what I do think the Bucks are saying is, okay, who are the best teams in the NBA this year? The Cavs in our division, the Thunder in the other division. What do they have? They got a stretch big. They got a stretch big, and they got another low post big.
They got stars.
Sure, but not really. The Cavs got one star. The Bucks got their star. Cavs don't got stars. They got a star. The Thunder got a star. The Thunder don't got stars.
And Mitchell is stars.
Nah.
Garland cool. Mitchell's a star.
Their second best player for me is Evan Mobley.
Then Mobley is a star.
He's not a star. He's a good player. He's a good player. If you're the Bucks, though, I get it. I need Miles Turner because Lopez just walked out the building, and Lopez is too old to even jog down the court anymore. So I need a stretch big. I'm going to be the ultimate big. They re-signed Kevin Porter Jr. They re-signed Kevin Porter. They re-signed Gary Trent. They have guards that can score. Remember, Gary Trent scored 33 points in their second-to-last playoff game, if I'm not mistaken. So you got some guards that can score. I need a stretch big. And Dame Lillard's not playing next year anyway. He's as well move.
I'm not arguing with you to the fact that you got to move Dame and all that and get off of Dame. But I am going to argue the fact if Dame Lillard is healthy.
He was healthy 2 years ago. It did nothing.
No, man. He did nothing. He was not healthy consistently his tenure in Milwaukee.
James, what were they going to win, James?
Nothing. The same thing they're going to win now.
No, the difference at least for me is this. At least now you got better on defense. Dame Lillard defensively was not. At least you get better on defense.
Who's scoring, Nacho?
You give Giannis is going to score, and Gary Trent Jr. going to be their scorer.
Those going to be KP going to have to score.
But you give Giannis the peace of mind that they're trying. Because if you don't try, he's out of there.
Should Giannis want to stay, T? That might be the most important question. It's the final question before we go to break. Should Giannis want to stay in Milwaukee?
You can't destroy the house and leave. Mm-hmm. He has to stay. You can't destroy it and leave.
He should stay and he should want to stay. You are in the East. Do not get over there with the mess in the West playing with KD and Shai and Joker. And all. Stay in the East. You have a chance to get into the playoffs. They ain't competing for no championship without Dame Lillard and with the roster.
James, they weren't competing with Dame Lillard.
And they're not going to compete without him.
But here's my thing is, who would have thought that they were going to compete for a championship with Chris Middleton, Jrue Holiday, Giannis, Lopez, Portis, Connaughton? The Bucks won championships not because they had not because they had a superstar. They won a championship because they had a consummate team, a team that was glued together, a team that played really good defense, a team that played very tough, a team where everybody knew their role. The Bucks never won a championship because they had superstars. Jrue Holiday is not a superstar. Chris Middleton never even made an all-star game in his 12-year career until Giannis became an MVP. I'm saying he didn't until Giannis became an MVP. Chris Middleton was a guy. The moment Giannis became an MVP, Chris Middleton became an all-star. Go back and look it up. Fact check it. Google it for yourself. He did because of Giannis.
The East is why it's the Cleveland Cavs and everybody else. It's wide open.
You mean to tell me you think that? Read the names of the Milwaukee team.
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, it's the roster's an adjustment. What we know is Kevin Porter.
The ones on your head.
Kevin Porter, Gary Trent, Giannis, Miles Turner, Bobby Portis. Remind me if they resigned.
He resigned.
Bobby Portis. That's who I know right now. I'm sure they got, the Connaughtons and the Kuzmas, and I don't think they kept Torrey. I hope they didn't keep Torrey and Prince.
They did. They re-signed him.
That's unfortunate.
Where are they going?
The same 3, 4, 5 seed they were going with Damian.
Dude, it's going to be the Knicks, the Cavs, and everybody else in the East. It's going to be the Knicks.
That's a really good point. I mean, think about it. With the Celtics, the Celtics are washing this year away. The Pacers are washing this year away.
The Knicks and Cavs.
And the Knicks don't have a head coach.
The Magic's going to have something to say, too.
Orlando Magic going to be right there.
The 8-seeded Magic. Oh,
There's going to be
God.
some teams that's going to
the playing Magic.
Better. They should be better.
Of course they should be better.
Worst rosters in the East. The Bucks.
James, as long as you have Giannis, you're automatically a top 5 roster in the East. You have Giannis. James, the dude averages 30.
Not true, Acho. And the dude done been bounced out of the playoffs the first round the last 3-4 years. If this was you talking about KD, Lord have mercy.
I'm going to break.
How you would be talking
I blamed Giannis from the start of the beginning of the entire conversation,
you were saying top
James.
5 roster just because he on the team.
In the East.
In the East.
Not
in the NBA.
I don't care if it's the West, East, North, South. Y'all looking at the rosters. Come on, man.
Oh, more breaking news.
God.
You know the craziest thing in sports happens when somebody comes out of retirement. Darren Waller, tight end, turned rapper, singer, coming out of retirement to join the Miami Dolphins, who just lost Jonnu Smith. I guess he didn't go platinum or gold or triple platinum. I don't know. He's going back to football. Hey, report says this. After the more breaking news, Giannis Antetokounmpo is not happy that Dame Lillard just got waived. Breaking news today, Dame Lillard just got waived, and now a report from, I think it was Chris Haynes, said that Giannis Antetokounmpo is not happy. Bringing us on camera, please. Again, people be thinking I'm biased, and in general, I'm really not. Giannis not being happy. I love Giannis. Giannis, my favorite NBA player. Giannis will go on to Antetokounmpo, Nigerian cat. I love Giannis. Yeah. There's no player I love more than Giannis. I don't care that Giannis isn't happy.
You don't care.
Giannis, you don't have the right to not be happy. Giannis, you made this bed. So, Giannis, you got to lie in it. Like, Giannis, you were so great that the team allowed you to do what they wanted you to do and what you wanted to do. Giannis, you so great. You said, hey, I don't care that Jrue Holiday is here. Jrue Holiday's gone. I don't care that Chris Middleton is here. Chris Middleton is gone. I don't care that head coach Adrian Griffin stays here, even though we're the 2 seed. Adrian Griffin is gone. I don't know that Giannis walked into the offices and asked for those moves, but Giannis, those moves are not being made without your permission, or at least they're not being made without your acknowledgement. So, Giannis, you allowed the championship Bucks roster to implode, so you cannot be mad when you see the results of the implosion. You can't be mad when you see the results of the implosion. I don't know that Giannis asked for this, but Giannis allowed it to happen. And Giannis, if you allowed it to happen, you can't be mad now when you see it didn't work. It didn't work.
My thing is this. If they didn't care about everything that Giannis did, why they didn't consult him with this move? At least, because if he's upset and there's been rumors that Giannis may want out, he may just say, you know what, man?
Yeah.
I'm done. I want to be traded. Then where do they go
But
from
T,
there?
you can't consult him anymore. Y'all got kids, and I'm sure y'all been in a situation where you trust your kid to do something. You're the parent, so you are the authority. But you delineate some of your authoritative power to say, hey, you know what, son? I trust you. Okay, I say curfew's at 10. You want it to be at 11. I trust you. If they misuse what you trust them to do, you take that power back. Giannis is not the owner. He's not the head coach. He's not the general manager. But they gave him ownership and head coaching and general managerial authority. And after the point in which he's misused it, because the roster got worse, it did not get better, I got to take that power back.
Once you give him that type of power, it ain't no taking it back. Once you let your kids start doing this, you can say whatever you want to say. They going to continue to do it. Never give it to them. Once you give it to them, they have it. They gave Giannis this power. You cannot take that power back. It's over with. So now you don't consult with him. It's like, you see these parents when their kids be acting crazy in public and they embarrassed. You got to stop that at home. Once you get to public, they gave Giannis his power. What they going to do now?
But he did earn it. I would suggest, right? You bring the Milwaukee Bucks their first championship since 1975. So I think he brought them their first championship, and it was something like 50 years. He earned the right to have decision-making
100%.
power. Best player in basketball at the time, I would have suggested it was a debate between Giannis and Kevin Durant because Jokic hadn't ascended into those incredible heights yet. So he earned the right to have all that power. He's just, to me, completely misused it.
Yeah, it sounds like Giannis, Ugo, Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
It sounds like he agrees with me. Because just so y'all know what I'm looking at right now is the Bucks roster. And all that stuff you just said the last ball, Giannis, he heard me. And he just did this up there. If we don't fix that, I don't like it, and I want out. And he should. He is not competing with that roster. I don't know who you can add. I don't know who you're going to add. He is not competing with that roster. As great as Giannis is, and we all know Giannis is great, he's not competing with that roster, and he knows it. I know we want to blame him for a lot of that stuff. And sure, blame him, that's cool. But I'm not blaming a man that's going out there getting a top 75 player and it just didn't happen to work out. It didn't work out. Whether you think it's like me, injuries played a whole lot into it, or you don't think they gelled that well together. But I'm not going to blame Giannis for going out there trying to get a top 75 player to go help him win a championship. It didn't work out. But what I'm looking at right now with that roster, he is far away.
They need another piece or two.
From winning a
They need another, calm down, they need another piece or two. When you look at the Pacers roster, and I look at this roster, at least as it pertains to starting five, Miles Turner, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you have Pascal Siakam. Kyle Kuzma, and you have Aaron Naismith. Gary Trent Jr., you have Halliburton, Kevin Porter Jr., and you have Nembhard. But they're like that. When I look at the Bucks starting lineup versus what the Pacers starting lineup took the Thunder in two. Now, I just said five. Obviously, the Pacers had three more. It's the depth. Of course. But now we're talking about reserves. I can add me some reserves right now as we're entering in the free agency market. You're talking about reserves. When I think about starting five, and I look at what the Pacers starting five rolled out there and what the capabilities of the Bucks starting five, they can be a 4 seed, a 5 seed, a 3 seed. Giannis is.
But I was saying, that's cool getting into the playoffs. Orlando Magic's and them teams was in the playoffs. For Giannis, what matters right now? Getting to
championship.
You know what I'm saying? And what we have right now, we're not winning a championship. It's different for Giannis.
They in the playoffs without Miles Turner.
If this is my man from the Magics, put a little team together so he can get into the playoffs. We're talking Giannis, bro.
I got to address something real quick. We have the breaking news of the NFL. Tight end Darren Waller coming out of retirement. Remember, he was a star-studded tight end, the highest paid tight end at the time. Played for the Raiders, left the Raiders, went to play for the Giants. I believe played for the Giants for just one season. Suddenly retired, I think at the ripe age of 29, if I'm not mistaken. Coming out of retirement, literally in the midst of the show as we are talking about it. Darren Waller, last season that he played, now he's 33 years of age. He retired at 31 years of age. But remember, he went for 1,100 yards in back-to-back seasons. He was a Pro Bowl caliber tight end. TJ, starting with you, the Dolphins, they lost Jonnu Smith. Now they're acquiring Darren Waller. What's your instant reaction?
I'm interested to see how this goes. I just talked to him on Monday.
Really?
Not yesterday, last Monday. And I asked him, I said, do you miss football? He was like, nah, not really. You know, music is my therapy now. You know, he has a studio in his house. Sometimes I'll just go in the studio and make a song. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you really don't? He was like, nah. So now, 8 days later, you back playing. You're still in shape. You probably physically are fine. Mentally, where you going to be at? That, to me, is the biggest problem. Because he had injuries the last couple years of his career. But once he got rolling, like 2019 to 2020, he may have been the best tight end in football.
Yeah.
Can now, one, you get your mind back into this football mode, because for the last 2 years, it's been music.
Yeah.
Going back with his position coach, and I'm sure that played a part in it. His position coach with the Raiders is now a position coach with the Dolphins. Probably reached out to him.
I got you.
Yeah. And not only that, like, Darren Waller is one of them tight ends that could fly. Mm-hmm. He could run. So it's all about getting back in shape. It's not about can he play football. I think he's going to be able to play football at a high level. He still know how to catch. Can he get back in shape? Can he get them hamstrings and all that back in shape? But if he does get back in shape and he can become the Darren Waller that we were used to seeing before the before the trade to the Giants, you're talking about Tyreek Hill, you're talking about Waddle, and now you're talking about Waller that can run. You might have some action, but he was looking at because right here I got the money he made off of his rap career, and they about to trade for him, and I got the money he make. So he probably did have that conversation with you, G.I., and then they did that like they did Giannis. He said, let me come on back. Dog.
Oh, man, hey, what a show we have had. Breaking news after breaking news after breaking news. Hey, a little more left on this Monday. Beautiful people, hopefully y'all hang with us. When we return, we got a Blitz Meeting. Have the Clippers gotten closer to a title, or the Lakers still the closest LA team. That's next, the facility. It's time for a Blitz meeting. Beautiful, beautiful people. Hey, the question is this. LeBron James, he is back with the Lakers. James Harden, he's with the Clippers. The Clippers have actually made some other interesting additions. So the question is simple. Is Brook Lopez, he joined the Clippers amongst other players. T, I'm going to start with you because you're an adamant Lakers fan. What team is closer to the title, the Lakers or Clippers?
We? T say we? We are. The Clippers have never won a title. They don't even know what a title look like. Yeah. It's us. Until the Clippers can just get there, it's always going to be us.
T's exactly right. I think the Clippers are not nearly as close to the title as the Lakers, but maybe this will be the year, T. So actually, I'm going to say the Clippers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you never know. It's tough to disagree with T on that one right there, but I do. Clippers is a better team right now. They are. I mean, if we're talking about right now, and we ain't talking about Magic and all that. We're talking right now, the Clippers and James Harden and Kawhi is a better team.
All right, let's talk some football. It's been a crazy football 24 hours. Steelers traded for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. They already got Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. Got me thinking about other moves around the league. James, what team had the best offseason so far?
Sweet. Bears. The Bears went and got everybody.
Why do you say sweet?
Because everybody should pick the Bears. They beefed up the O-line. Their draft was really good. They got a really good coach.
What do you say?
You know, we don't talk about this prior to the show like
don't at all.
I just know you.
I got the Bears also. I got the Bears also.
Got it.
Yeah, I got the Bears also.
I thought T might be tripping. I got the Bears.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Y'all know me. I got the Commanders. Laramie Tunsil, off rip. Remember, offensive line, shirt up. He's a top 3 tackle in the league.
The Bears got 2 O-line.
Debo Samuel.
Okay, so my 2 O-linemen in one.
Laramie Tunsil, shirring him up. Debo Samuel, I think those 2 primary pieces is really all they needed. Think about it. Last year, they didn't have a gadget guy. They had to use Austin Eckler as the gadget guy. Now Debo can be the gadget guy. You can put him in 20 personnel, 20 pony, we call it, 2 running back sets. I can run slip screens. He can look like he's chipping. He can take it to the crib. Or now I got a surefire left tackle, a young enough left tackle, got 10 more good years in him to protect my quarterback. Got
Ben Johnson is part of that offseason
so you
also.
Get Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
You get 2 phenomenal linemen. You get Luther Burton as your third receiver. Colston Loveland as your tight end.
Yeah.
The Bears made a lot of moves. But remember, all those moves are phenomenal moves. The Bears would be my number 2, but they're contingent upon one person, Caleb Williams. Loveland is nothing, and Burton's is nothing, and the second-round pick from last year, first-round pick of Doomsday is nothing without Caleb. So all them great moves y'all made.
About the moves they made. We ain't talking about.
But how good is the move without the?
But we don't know what it's gonna look like.
I know what Laramie Tunsil's gonna look like. I know what Debo Samuel's gonna look like. That's the difference.
Because you don't be super high on it.
I got some Debo video. We got some Kobe. We got that Debo video. How long it take y'all to show that guy? I got some. Hold on, look.
You weren't too sad the Niners let Debo.
Hold on, Kobe. We got it. Let me show you something real quick, Jay. Let me show you something real quick. Because Debo was out there. He was out there writing some. He was out there writing some. And I need their opinion on this. I saw Debo post this yesterday, and he actually looks good. We're gonna show you all the footage because if we're not, I'm gonna be heartbroken. But real quick, what I think is if you add that, plus you have Cliff Kingsbury as the mind behind all of it, I actually think the Commanders.
You fighting for your case right now.
I am.
Oh, sir.
And I'm actually stalling because I'm trying to figure out the Debo footage.
Sir.
But we don't see. Oh, it's coming?
It's Debo. They don't want us to see Debo.
There it is. All right, thank you. Let's show the Debo footage. I'm excited about that. Get out of there.
I see you, Debo.
Get out.
I see you.
Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Hands. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there, boy.
Ooh, and you running. Okay, Debo.
And you want Colston Loveland over that?
He look good. He look good doing that.
He looks great. He looks great. He looks better than good. He looks great. He looks chiseled. He looks in shape. He looks light on his feet. Why you don't seem impressed? TJ, I'm showing you all these clips. Why don't you seem impressed?
He looks good.
He looks great.
Yeah. I like the everything he's doing. But it ain't, don't put it over the Bears transaction. But Debo looks good right here. He looks good.
I see you, Debo.
You ready to get out there?
Relax, James.
He looks phenomenal.
Relax.
Dog. Debo ready to go.
It's the only set we have.
ready to
Hey,
go.
last question. The Denver Nuggets, they traded Michael Porter Jr. and acquired Cam Johnson from the Nets. You're bringing back guard Bruce Brown T. Is Jokic's title window reopened?
No. Like, you replace Michael Porter, same production, same three-point shooter, same average points per game, same player.
I'm going to say yes because it never closed.
Yes. It's wide open. It never closed.
It
Just
never
like
closed.
we think Giannis is good and can take it. We talking about
Jokic, yeah.
Third, fourth best team in the West. It's close.
That's okay.
Done.
Gonna be in the playoffs.
They can do
over.
something. They can do something. I got to go work out with Debo. I think he's mad at me, though.
Your feet right.